Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
We are just to the west of you, Coach, on the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium, just north of downtown Tampa. Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, Week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the Houston Texans, and it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They go play action here on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Throwing on second and long. Mahomes. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Harrison Smith on the safety blitz, able to get the sack. After the sack, they'll come up now third and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Mahomes now to throw. He's going deep for Brown. And that is incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one for the old average. 68 yards on the punt there. And the Bucs are going to take over first and 10 deep in their own territory. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. Despite some fast footwork, he's still wrangled down shy of the 15. A gain of 3, second down. The last run got 3. Now here's second and 7. Johnson on the counter. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
From the gun on third down, it's Trubisky. He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. It's a gain of 16, first down Tampa Bay. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. On the ground, this is Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. On second down now, it's Johnson. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a third and long at the outset of this drive. Gets it to his running back, Bernard. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to make it fourth down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Buying time to his left. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. Now the third leading rusher among rookies last year, it's Nick Chubb. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. Now Mahomes forced out to his left. Mahomes can sling it, but the feet are nimble too as he scrambles for a first down.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20.
Delay of game, offense.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Now they'll throw with Mahomes. He'll buy some time right. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Flush to his right. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down, it's Johnson. No score after 1 on EA Sports. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. Yeah, boy, from up here, I don't think Johnson got there. No, he did not. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And now out comes Houston. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. He's going deep for Brown. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. And all the way down to the 39. A huge play there for Houston. 41 yards. Mahomes now on 1st down. He's going deep for Brown. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The Texans with the first opportunity now from the red zone. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Nick Chubb hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting routine.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Give the sack to Lorenzo Carter.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly.
And the ball is knocked out, and the Texans scoop it. And he'll get this back down to about the 12-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Mahomes. And that throw intercepted. It's Chris Harris, the Pro Bowl corner. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
And now the drive starts with a completion out to the right. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That one goes for 30 yards. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Michael Gallup, that's who he was looking for. And that'll bring up 2nd down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now it's Trubisky. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Lorenzo Carter picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Now Trubisky lost the football, and the Texans scoop it past the 20. And he will score. It's a touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is fielded at the goal line. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. This offense led by Mitchell Trubisky going to make their way back out there. He has not had the game that he envisioned. His team has not had the game that they've envisioned here. So how do they turn this around now?
Well, right now what he's looking forward to doing is finding a way to get the added weight on his back. Is it like that monkey that Steve Young was talking about? Remember that in the Super Bowl?
Oh, the 95 Super Bowl.
Right, when they beat the Chargers. And, he had that weight of expectations and past greats on his back. In this case, it's just bad play. Can he shake it off and then be able to play loose and free and help his team out?
Let's see if he can do just that. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And just a yard on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 4. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. This pass into the arms of Snead, and he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Now Trubisky to throw. Completes it to Benjamin. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Now Trubisky. Screen play, Johnson. Touchdown, Tampa Bay! Duke Johnson with touchdown number 8 on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who is a complete guy, who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far, here in the second quarter. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Here's Mahomes to throw. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. A gain of 19 and picking up the first. Mahomes now 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this first half, but he's got a first down here. He's going deep for Brown. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. They were trying to go to Brown once again, but it's going to be second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From midfield, here's Mahomes. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. Gonna need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack for Mahomes and company. Final shot before the half for Mahomes. Steps away, and he's gonna go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the 3rd quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that rests. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. John Simon. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Here's Trubisky to throw. Benjamin's got it. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he breaks through another tackle. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Off the play fake, here's Trubisky. And his pass incomplete. Well, let's see, he was 8 of 13 prior to that pass, now 8 of 14, Charles.
Yeah, that's not horrible, but he's been under a ton of pressure throughout this game, not able to stay on his spot. You know, quarterbacks talk about that all the time, being able to get to one place, set up and throw. When they make you move a little bit, oftentimes your accuracy suffers.
It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down. They go back to the ground with Johnson. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, Trubisky. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing here, Trubisky. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. Oh, Chubb fumbled it, and it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. And a big turning point here in the second half, Charles, after that play.
All you're trying to do is change momentum, flip things around for your team. You're just trying to take the ball away. How about when you take it away and score? That really changes things.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And it's now 17-14. This will be fielded at the 8. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. Looking for a bounce back. Had the fumble a moment ago that went for a touchdown the other direction. See if he can get back in rhythm.
And you have to be very careful about having too quick of a hook with really good players. I did a guy's game in high school where he fumbled 3 times in the first quarter, finished with over 300 yards on the night, later ended up in the NFL. If you've got a talented back, give it back to him.
They run it again with Chubb. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Whip, 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 whip. Watch the whip.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. Sliding out of the pocket. He's going deep for Brown. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
56 to Mike. 56 to Mike.
Here we go, 4th down, Mahomes. He's going deep for Brown. And it's knocked away and incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Bucs are going to take over with excellent field position to boot. Well, they were looking for a clutch play there on 4th, unable to come up with it.
How about that defense, though, huh? How about that D?
Yeah, momentum swing.
And, you know, I remember playing how much 4th downs were emphasized. You know, because, as you said, it's a momentum play. It's also a big test for you. You know, if people are going to go for it on 4th down, they believe you're not up to the challenge. You want to show them differently.
Again, it's Johnson. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And his bid for the first down coming up short as he's tackled at the 25. Back now in Tampa. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Marr able to put this one through. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Well, you're impressed, don't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
He's going deep for... He's got a man complete. A big-time play there for the Texans. 42 yards. Mahomes now to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he throws.
And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Lorenzo Carter. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Now it's Trubisky. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. Trying to get it to Willie Snead there. And now it's 3rd down. The Bucs on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 16. Here's Trubisky. And yes, complete to the tight end McDonald. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. First down would have been nice, but now you get to kick the field goal, still go up 2 scores.
They tried to get it, though, didn't they? threw the pass, got the completion just short of the first down. But you're exactly right. Run the field goal unit out there. Kick it. Put it through the post. Go up 2 scores.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. They go play action here on 1st down. Eluding the pressure. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. To throw, it's Mahomes. Escaping the pressure right. He'll run it. Pretty nice gain on the scramble. Gets him 12 yards. I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on 1st down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off. Not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra. Really helps him on 3rd down. Makes it manageable now.
Now they go screen. It's complete. 20. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Jordan Wilkins, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are an extra point away now from taking the lead here in the 4th. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Hey, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, wherever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And this offense led by Mitchell Trubisky going to make their way back out there. And the stats on the screen tell the story. A great start. This defense, they made some good adjustments, so he's fallen off since.
Have to like what they did at the half, but you also have to like the fact that they hung in there. Despite the fact they had a tough first half.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Lorenzo Carter able to record his 5th sack of the season. Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. To try again after the sack, Trubisky.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Play action. It's Trubisky. It's complete to Snead. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Less than 2 minutes to play. Down to the wire we go in a 1-point game. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to... And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. He's back to throw. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. From midfield now, here's Trubisky. Snead's got it. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. John Simon in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. He gets it to Thomas. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be third down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. That's into the hands of the tight end, Ellison. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. Trubisky will come up here first and 10, and he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. Back to throw. Completes it to Benjamin. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. They go to Johnson again. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining. And this one is right through. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. He hasn't missed a kick all year. Why would he start now?
That's a great question, isn't it? Well, maybe because that was the most nerve-wracking kick he had to attempt all year. But he knocked it through just like it was an easy chip shot.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Look at the clock. Everyone knows the situation. Probably time here for one final play.
And we know what that play is going to be. It's got to be some sort of Hail Mary, throwing it towards the end zone and hoping someone can catch.
And that's caught inside the 30.
We played to win. Let's go.
Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Tampa Bay, it's a good 5th win for them as they play out the string. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they'll be guaranteed a finish of no better than 500 as they drop to 7-8. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Kamara, drive it.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Tennessee Titans and the Houston Texans.
Let's go, baby.
On first down, Mahomes. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Now Mahomes. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
You better be ready next time.
All right, partner, I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass, followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that side. It got his man complete. And all the way down to the 39. A huge play there for Houston. 46 yards.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
A good pick up there, 26 yards. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Zach Brown making his presence felt in the backfield. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
On third down, it's Nick Chubb. And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the first. Give him 8 yards on the carry, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. Mahomes going to go on 4th down. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Hollywood Marquise Brown. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Texans take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. This is a crew, they've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really have. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line.
Check. Watch it before. Oh, here we go. Oh.
This is Alvin Kamara, who made the Pro Bowl in each of his first 2 NFL seasons. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, You've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
On third down, Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Lorenzo Carter in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
A gain of 32 that time. How about this first quarter for them throwing the football?
This defense has zero answers for what they've seen so far with the ball in the air. I'm not sure how they're going to change things around, but offensively, I keep attacking. I keep throwing the football until they make me change.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a third down and 6 to go.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
That good for 19 and a first down. So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 37-yard line. It's Jordan Wilkins here, second-year man from Ole Miss. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. Second and 10 coming up. Nice job there defensively to clamp down, because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back out.
No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. Here's Mahomes to throw. Flushed out right. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole, because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
25 yards, the pickup there, and also a first down. The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. They'll run. This is Kamara. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Mayfield. And Stills bringing it in. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. Caught by the tight end, Ertz. And they'll bring him down right at midfield, and he is well short of the first down. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. The offense trots back out there. Let's turn our focus now to Nick Chubb. As you see the season totals, barring a really great effort today, Charles, probably going to fall a little bit shy of 1,000, but still he's had some moments this year. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 39. A big-time play there for the Texans. 47 yards. Now a play fake here on first down. Flush to his right. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Marquise Brown, the rookie, his intended target. And it's 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. It's a gain of 35. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Nick Chubb, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Texans push further out in front. Nice job of polishing off that drive, but all the credit there goes to that play prior.
Yeah, it certainly does, because after that big play, I think resistance almost felt futile at that point, didn't it? And the very next play they come. Right back, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and put it in the end zone.
Just a 4-play drive that time. And Nick Chubb, the one to finish it off, as he does so with a touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. So officially now a 1,000-yard campaign for him, but I don't think he's going to take his foot off the gas pedal.
Yeah, it's one of those thoughts, though, that creeps into your mind, because there is a little mini celebration over on the sidelines. Everybody, hey, job well done, over 1,000 already. But guaranteed, as you noted, someone's jumped in that huddle and said, a lot more to be done, guys. Let's not, as you would just say, take your foot off the pedal. Let's not do that right now. But there is that possibility as people can get self-satisfied. The greats do not. We'll find out what he's made of.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Mayfield. This is Shepard on the catch. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. Now Mayfield. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Another try after the first down sack. Mayfield. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Lorenzo Carter, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Tennessee. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon.
Mike 51, Mike 51. Blue Dan.
Now here's Mahomes. He's going deep for Brown. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Hollywood Brown, the intended receiver, but now it's 3rd down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now Tennessee going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. Here's Johnny Hekker now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. This will be fielded at the 17. He belted that thing, a leg of steel, and an even 70 yards on the punt that time. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. And they'll indeed take a knee. 1st and 2nd down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the 2nd half of Week 17 is underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think just they were just
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Lorenzo Carter in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. It's hauled in by Shepard. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right?
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Lorenzo Carter in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Now a pass hauled in downfield. Touchdown, Titans. Traquan Smith, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score.
So what did you say earlier, my man? You said one big play away from getting back in this game. And guess what? There it was.
Yeah, we talked about it. Despite the scoreline, they were that close on the road, and boom, there you go.
Well done, Nostradamus.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll return this one all the way onto the other side of the field.
Now that's the kind of return that warms the heart of a special teams coach. He'll be pushing us next time, Brandon, to make sure his guys are introduced in the starting lineups. These guys have such an influence on every game. The unsung heroes, remember, they have their own meetings, their own practice time, heck, their own spot on the bench in order to be ready to play each and every week.
And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. A run for Nick Chubb. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Nick Chubb, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Texans push further out in front. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 21-7. Hardly any time taken off the clock there. 2 plays, and they find the end zone for 6 points. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Titan offense now as they make their way back onto the field. They did what they had to do to start this third quarter. Went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense?
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Mayfield looks to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here's Thomas. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
16 yards on that one, and also a Texan 1st down.
And this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Eluding the pressure right. Got a man, it's Brown. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Marquise Brown, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Texans push further out in front. That's a tough combination to defend. You know Patrick Mahomes has the big arm, and he's got the elusiveness and the speed. So even though you force him from the pocket, he's still dangerous.
Bad idea, in my opinion, to force him from the pocket. Do everything possible to hem him in and make him make the throws from right there in the center of it. And look, we know he's got the big arm. You just noted that. But when he gets outside, it puts so much stress on your defense trying to locate where receivers are, make sure you're covering them, and he can throw the ball the length of the field. So you just tell a receiver, just keep going. He'll find it, and he did there.
Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. How do you break down his game so far? Just the one touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't, not until you balance it with the error side, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. That's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. Mayfield to throw it. It's caught. Shepard. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards is the pickup for Tennessee and a first down. I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play. Give my man a whole lot of credit for taking the hit and possessing the football.
And picking up the first down. 23 yards on the play.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Trying to get it that time to Stills. That'll bring up second down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. On the ground, Kamara. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
And he's got his tight end, that's Smith. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. Traquan Smith, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Titans are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that cuts the lead to 28-14. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And the result in the end, a Titans touchdown. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time run right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. On 2nd down and 4, Mahomes escaping the pressure right. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. On the carry, it's Chubb. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Back now in Houston, it's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the 4th. Throwing on 1st down is Mahomes. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. That one goes for 24 yards. I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today.
Yeah, just 1 pick so far and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning if he takes care of the ball and his offense, if they're humming along, the defense doesn't have to be out there as long. He's taking care of his guys on the other side of the ball.
They're enjoying a 4th quarter advantage. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Throwing now is Mahomes. This will be caught by Brown. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A well-executed 22-yard gain. To throw, it's Mahomes being chased out left. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Hollywood Marquise Brown there to make the grab. And the Texans push further out in front. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
This is taken at the 3. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points. Said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. From the 40 now on second down, Mayfield, and that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. The Titans on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Throwing, Mayfield. And this is Ertz with it, right side.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and put the down marker back to 1.
Now it's Kamara in the passing game.
Offside, defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Lorenzo Carter has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. To throw, Mayfield. He's got Smith here. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped up.
Pressure comes and down goes Baker Mayfield.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Mayfield down. And this is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this Texans defense stands tall. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Mahomes to throw. That is caught at the 7. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. It's a gain of 22 as we tick towards the 2-minute warning. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish.
And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Texans push further out in front. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. He's going to let it fly, and that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Mayfield caught by the tight end Ertz. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Here's Mayfield. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll make it 2nd down. Now Mayfield. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. It's not too often you see a holder putting that football down right on the midfield stripe. 60 yards, Charles, but a little bit too much to bite off there.
Yeah, it's good to show confidence in your kicker. That might have been just a little bit too much. I'll guarantee you, as you just noted, putting it down on the mid.
Well, the defense loses him. It's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long.
Yellow, I'm the blue lady. Double dog, that's the way.
Partner, they're less than 2 minutes to go in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellas in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Watch the slants.
Interesting, Mahomes wants to throw it. This is caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. They'll give it to Chubb, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. And the Titans are going to recover the football. And gets by him, and now a little daylight. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the